What you see in front of you, some may refer to as nothing more than an old beat-up Tahoe. And basically that's what it is. But for some reason, I see something way different. It could be on the personal side because I brought this thing back to life and got it up and running. Another part of me likes the fact that the two-door Tahoe community is overall a pretty good group of people. I think the one thing that this Tahoe does for me, more than any other car that I've had, is brought me back to basics. I, for one, am 100% guilty of thinking that certain car cultures are above or below others when in actuality they're not. Now we can all agree that doing stuff on the street out of straight stupidity and getting people hurt is of course not what we all stand for. But I can tell you right here that me bringing this thing back to life, driving it up every day when it was just sitting in someone's backyard, just brought everything back into perspective to me that no matter what someone drives, it could be the biggest pile of junk ever, is that one person's pride and joy. You can take away the views and the likes and the shares and everything else with it, but for some reason, when I drive this thing around, yeah, it squeaks, it's old, it has those little dings and dents, but I freaking love this thing more than any other thing that I've had before. I have in vast amounts of imaginary hypothetical scenarios and all kind of one-off build ideas that I would have for this. But I think the one thing that I like about this Tahoe more than anything else is the fact that it kind of brought me back all the way to the basics. And if you like something, and no matter what else is going to be out there, or no matter who says what about it, you gotta rock it like you freaking own it. And maybe that's what it is. You know, I do love the two-door Tahoes. For some reason I have a vision of what this can be. And I think and know, actually I know for a fact that I can show the world what I can do when it comes to planning, execution, working the long nights, putting things together. And the number one thing is just to share the joy out of it. You may see an old beat up Tahoe, but I see something much more than that. I see to show anyone that this video reaches, not only that you can put your head down, get to work, get things done, get what you want, but also show the world that you shouldn't be ashamed, timid, or nervous to show people what you like and what you own and what you drive. This here brings back my attention to the core foundation of what every car guy shares, is just owning and repping something to the 10,000% that this is theirs no matter what anyone says. Even if this video only reaches 10 people, I will still like the fact that I'm up, I'm driving, and I'm doing something that I like. I'm not trying to impress anybody. If I was trying to impress someone, I'd probably go rent a McLaren and make a video on that. That's not what I'm trying to do. This car here brought me back all the way to the basics and just has me back to enjoying working on a car, fixing it up, getting it up and driving, sharing the stories with other people, meeting other people, getting connections with people. Some may be muscle, some may be stance, Japanese, some may be domestic, some may be drag racing, some may be road coursing, and just overall just sharing the same passion that we all have for cars. It doesn't matter what it is. It all comes back to the basics of doing something you want to do. And I'll continue to do this because that is what creating this and bringing this back up from the ground brings me joy. It's almost kind of weird because if you would have asked me would I like to be driving around an old beat up Chevy where the heater only works on high, you got to open the door from the outside and it leaks coolant, but you're going to procrastinate for a while until you do it, I'd ask, no, I don't want to do it. But now, to me, it doesn't matter because it all humbles you and brings you back to the basics where if it's something that you want and something that you like, any car guy right now, I guarantee you can ask them this very question and they would all tell you the same thing. If someone handed you a car, it could be your dream car, it could be a car you've always wanted, it could be a car that you've been looking at to get for a while, or a car that you think, man, I think that car would just be fun. I guarantee you drop that car off to them and no matter what condition it is, muddy, broken glass, only one door works, it runs and drives, guarantee you that person is going to drive that thing up and down the street like it's a Rolls Royce. And I think that right there is the premise and foundation of what we all are. Now for this, as far as this goes, I would love to put a 5.3 with an LSA blower on it and just go have fun. And see, that's the thing about it. Even if I do all this work and it's not the fastest, I still wouldn't care because I'm out there having as much fun as I can. There's so many times and so many thoughts and all this other back and forth arguments that people run through their heads of, I gotta do this to be this. If you wanna go out there and break records, cool, do your thing. There's nothing against that. The world loves watching that kind of stuff. But you gotta remember, I mean, if you are having the absolute most fun doing that, by all means continue to do that. But you gotta break it down and remember that if you're not enjoying it anymore, you gotta take a step back and realize where it all started for you. And for some reason, this car, I was never fond of the two-door Tahoes. I'll be honest. I was never life-seeking. The two-door Tahoe was like the all holy grail of all Chevy SUVs. I was never like that. To keep it real, I wanted to buy this thing to flip it. But something told me, the moment you start to work on it, you're gonna want to keep it. And that's exactly what happened. You start to put it together, you start to see the transformation, and you realize, like, man, this thing, like I said in the beginning, it could be the biggest pile of junk, but to you, it's the Rolls Royce. And I guarantee you can come to any car guy and they're going to tell you that same thing. You can go, even if it's the quirky car guy, like, hey, I want an AMC Gremlin. I guarantee you drop off that AMC Gremlin to his front yard, he's going to be as happy as ever. The 6-year-old is going to come out of him again. You know, if you tell someone that, man, you know what, I think a 4-eyed fox is something I really want, they're gonna go crazy. I guarantee you can drop off a immaculate Mark IV Supra to any race enthusiast, and no matter what, it could be super clean, it could need a bunch of work, it could look just like that burnt one on a trailer from Fast and Furious. That person is going to be ecstatic, and I think that's what it comes down to. And I've been so focused on focusing my attention when I lost the bigger side of things where I just want to have fun. That's all it is. You know, when you get a newer car, you kind of get sucked into that world of, you know, you want the newest stuff, you want the cleanest stuff, you want the best stuff. But you have to bring it back home if it's not fun for you anymore and realize why you started it. Again, you can take away all this car club stuff, all the Instagram stuff, the likes and shares, and whatever. I don't do that for this. If no one sees this video, if no one, you know, reposts an Instagram post for whatever reason, to me that doesn't matter. I'm doing it because I want to do it and I truly have fun doing it. And you gotta remember, when you first started to get into this car world, you gotta remember, most of us were little kids, and we saw other people having fun with these cars. Imagine a group of kids today that just saw a bunch of adults around stressed out for no reason over something that isn't even supposed to cause that much drama. Those kids aren't going to want to go in there. Imagine a LSA 5.3 and a two-door Tahoe just doing burnouts in a parking lot at someone's shop because they let us having fun. Imagine other people looking at that like, look at, they're enjoying themselves no matter what they're doing. You know, I'm kind of stuck on this 5.3 LSA stuff, but if anyone wants to help me out there, I mean, by all means, help me out. That's what I got to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys on the next one.